Hey there. Last night I went to see Beetlejuice 2, The Electric Boogaloo. I was a big fan of the original film with all of its zany antics and morbidly heartwarming story, so reviewing Beetlejuice Resurrection was a no-brainer. Seth Grahame-Smith, Miles Miller, and Alfred Goh wrote the story, and Miller and Goh wrote the screenplay. Tim Burton returns to direct. Winona Ryder returns as Lydia Dietz. Michael Keaton is back as the Juice, and Jenna Ortega joins the cast as Lydia's daughter, Astrid. Alright, this was a fun one. The story is a bit of a nostalgia trip with Lydia and the Dietz family returning to Winter River to attend a funeral. While Lydia struggles to deal with seeing images of Beetlejuice, Astrid makes a mysterious new friend, and a new face from Beetlejuice's past shows up. It's a wildly exciting affair with lots of visual gags, supernatural elements aplenty, and a great performance from Michael Keaton. There's juicy scenes of the Bee-Man terrorizing Lydia and her family, weird interactions with all the different types of dead people, and even a vicious villainess to spice things up. The humor is mostly morbid jokes focused on absurd interactions, like watching Lydia calmly greet the ghost with a knife sticking out of her eye but scream at the sight of her fiancé. The supernatural elements rehash most of what we see in the original with a few new faces, and a bit more of the underworld's lore. The story does feel a little undercooked with a few clashing parts. They tried to do a storyline for every single character, and it ended up dragging on a little bit. Monica Bellucci's Dolores, Jenna Ortega's Astrid, and Catherine O'Hara's Delia Dietz are the biggest victims. They end up feeling like unimportant background characters, and yet their stories are integral to the plot. The cast sees their time split fairly evenly, and a lot of what we see are comedic and fearful reactions to the supernatural elements. You have the Dietz family returning as the eccentric weirdos, a few normal people around them to expose Beetlejuice to, and of course the people of the underworld. The general performances are well done, but only Michael Keaton really gets a chance to stand out. Michael Keaton, as Beetlejuice, knocks it out of the park. He's an obnoxious, womanizing monster of a man, and Keaton turns the performance up to 11. He's hilarious when he's taunting the different members of the Dietz family, and he got to do some funny, strange moments like the Spanish flashback. I loved how much expression he put into the lip sync. Outside of Keaton, the others try their best, but their stories just aren't given the attention or time they need to mature. I did enjoy the expression work during the sing-along though. They look terrified, but their mouths keep moving in an almost robotic manner. Visually, the film looks great. It makes use of a few different mediums and mixes them together to create a supernatural adventure that will have you howling. They did a great job remixing the original locations to look more modern, and they created a few new places to sweeten the pot. They had animated scenes that were hilarious and helped soften the morbid humor. A lot of visual gags where Beetlejuice plays a mean prank on someone, and a few flavorful musical scenes. They also did a great job with the undead character designs. They're grotesque looking, but also kind of morbidly hilarious and cute. Like all the shrunken head people in their giant suits running around Winter River had me busting my stitches. Sound-wise, the film makes use of a few original tracks, a returning theme song, and a few scored instrumentals to create an epic adventure. The music's over-the-top wacky and exciting, but perfectly underscores the emotions at any given moment. I loved how they brought back the Deo song for the funeral, and I especially enjoyed all of the musical moments from Beetlejuice. It's hilarious watching him sing serious love songs while dressed up in ridiculous outfits. Danny Elfman did a fantastic job with the soundtrack. Personally, I enjoyed the return of the Beetlejuice, but I don't think the story is well written. I think it has a lot of good parts in it, and there are definitely characters that I like. The problem is how thin they spread themselves and how little they developed Lydia, Astrid, and Dolores. I think that if you enjoyed the first film, you'll probably enjoy this one too. It hits on a lot of the same selling points, and Michael Keaton is fantastic as Beetlejuice. If you're new to the franchise, it might be a little weak, but you can still enjoy the zaniness of it and a lot of the humor. The visual journey looks great, the soundtrack is awesome, and there's a ton of fun performances from side characters like Wolf Jackson, Father Damien, and Bob Shrinker. As for a rating, I'd give this film a 6 out of 10. Remember, these are just my thoughts on the film. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye-bye!